For assessment task number 3, you're going to be working in both Illustrator and Photoshop. So in this tutorial, we're just going to have a quick look at the Illustrator interface, and you'll find that you're probably quite familiar with a lot of the options, the tools, the palettes, etc. In Illustrator. So to get started, when you open Illustrator, you've got the option of creating something new. For the purpose of today's tutorial, we're just going to do some sample drawings and play around with tools. So an A4 document over here on the right, orientated in landscape view. I'm only going to use one artboard. However, if you're working on a project that has several pages, you may want to increase the artboard quantity. Likewise, if you're producing graphics or prints that belong to a family, you may want to work on those the objects, the print objects, all at one time by creating lots of artboards. Let's give this a name, sample graphic, and create. So this is my canvas. It's set to landscape orientation. Down the left here, I have all my tools. Some of these will be familiar to you. As mentioned in a previous tutorial, if you click with your left mouse button and go all the way over to the right, you've got this little margin that indicates it's a tearaway palette or pull-out palette, and you can have as many of these out on your workspace as you like, which is quite different to Photoshop because Photoshop doesn't let you do that. So just be mindful of that. Like Photoshop, you've got all of your other major palettes under Windows. So for instance, if I want my layers palette, I can click in there, I can minimize it, expand it. Each of these palettes also has a little sub-menu with options in it. The layers palette in Illustrator is a little bit different to Photoshop, so we'll explore that as we move along. Now, I'm set up to use Essentials Classic Workspace. If you want to change that, go into Window in the top menu, Workspace, and choose the one that you like. I like using Essentials Classic. It's got my range of options in this sub menu up the top here, and my palettes to the right that I can minimize or expand. Once again, when setting up your canvas, make sure that you organize your preferences. Your preferences may be listed under Illustrator in the top menu, or depending on which version you're using, you may need to go into the Edit menu, and Preferences will be located down there. So File, Preferences, General. The main ones that you want to have a look at are Type, the spacing between letters, I've got at 2 points. Units, I like to work in millimeters. Guides, you may wish to change the color of the guides. If you want to have smart guides set up as well, you can use those. And probably the other one that you may wish to change is the user interface. And so once you're happy with all your settings, click OK and you can start drawing something. Now, at any point in time, if you want to change your canvas size, we don't have the option of image settings as we do in Photoshop. So what you can do is go into the document setup option and edit artboards. And you can either adjust your artboard like so, or you can click in this artboard option menu and put in your variables this way. So a little bit different to how it works in Photoshop.